Welcome to our channel. So, let's start today's story. My name is Aaqib. I was the only son of my parents, and that is why I was so spoiled. My mother's love and care made me stubborn. There was another big reason behind it. We had no dearth of money. My father had his own business, and we belonged to a good family where I never had to crave for anything. From childhood, everything was available to me even before I could say it. There was no dearth of money in the house or anything else, but if there was a dearth, it was of love. My father did not love my mother. He married my mother under pressure from his family, but he did not love her, and neither did she love him. Till now he was able to give love, which was his right. The truth was that my father did not love anyone. It was not that he liked any other woman other than Amy, or wanted to marry her in reality. Perhaps he did not want to keep any woman in his house as his wife. He was proud of his money and wanted to live his life with the power of his money, but he wanted to spend his whole life enjoying himself. That is why he never sat at home. It was a custom in our family that marriages were not done outside the family. That is why my father married my mother, because of the family, but no one knew what kind of life my mother lived after marriage. She always used to wait for my father, longing for his praise, but father used to spend all his time outside, as if he was not married. They were living their lives earlier. Even now their lives were the same. If anyone's life had changed, it was my mother's, who had left her home and everything and had come here for Abba, while Abba did not give her any time. My Abba was always a man of debauchery. He could not live with just one woman. To make his evening colorful, he would go to infamous lanes every day and spend most of his time there. He was a beauty lover and wanted new girls for himself. That's why what could have been a better place for him than a brothel, even before marriage? He would spend every night there and would return home drunk, that too early in the morning. Fed up with all his antics, his family got him married, thinking that he might improve after marriage, but this did not happen even after marriage. He used to do all this. He had told Alma on the first day itself that he will live his life according to his wish, and does not want to intoxicate anyone in his life. He can never live as a slave of anyone, and neither can he live as a woman. If in such a situation my mother is ready to spend her life with him, then it is fine. But if she wants to leave him, then he will not force her to stay with him. My mother would have left him, but then she got such news that it became a chain on her feet, and she could not leave this house even if she wanted to. She had decided that when Abba was fed up with his daily antics, and he used to spend all his time outside the house, then my Alma had decided that now she will not stay with him. She can live with some poor man, but she could not live with a man of bad character. She wanted to leave this house when she came to know that he was a woman. If she had left this house, she would have got married somewhere or the other, but her children would have been taunted by people all their lives and would have been homeless. She did not want to make her children homeless like this. And for the sake of her children, that is, for my sake, she tolerated this attitude of Abba. She had started to take such sips of patience. She had accumulated so much tolerance within herself that now perhaps nothing mattered to her. I came into her life, and she made me her life. She used to spend all her time with me and was busy with my work. Now it did not matter to her where Abbas spends his time and where he does not. Slowly and gradually, as I was growing up and I came to my senses, I saw many such things in my house which left a very bad impression on my mind. My father would bring home a beautiful girl almost every day and drop her back in the morning. Slowly and gradually, I understood what kind of a man my father was. For him, a woman was nothing more than a toy. My mother would often fight with him that whatever he wanted to do, however he wanted to spend his life, he should keep all these things outside the house. There was no need to bring anyone inside the house. But my father had clearly told her that this was his own house. Whoever he wanted, he would bring to this house. If my mother did not like all this, she could leave from here along with her son. Maybe she would have left the house, but if she had left this house, she would have had to take me along with her. In such a case, this property, which was rightfully mine, would have been taken away from me, and my father would have squandered all his property on prostitutes in this way. My mother did not want to usurp my rights and did not want my rights to go into the hands of other people, so she tolerated all this and waited for better times. When I was 14 years old, I understood very well why my father brought a new girl home every day, and all these things had a very bad effect on my mind. My mother tried to educate me very well, but she alone could not succeed in all this, and it so happened that my father's attitude and his promiscuous nature made me such that I also started following his footsteps like him. Women had no importance and respect in front of me either. I also started considering them only a thing to pass time. When I was 14 years old, one night my father came home with a girl and took her to a room. It was only a little while before that girl came out of the room screaming and immediately ran away from the house. When Amma and I went to the room and saw, my father was lying on the floor in pain. A strange kind of foam was coming out of his mouth, and he was thrashing his hands and legs as if he wanted to save his life. But after a little while of pain, his body had completely stopped moving. This meant that he was dead. My father had passed away. After that, I was the only heir to his entire property. My father was poisoned. Perhaps that girl poisoned him. The girl who was present in the room with him. We did not see her again. I ended that story here and moved on with my life. Now there was complete peace in the house. Neither did any outsider visit our house, nor was there any such extravagance. And that night, I saw my mother at peace. Otherwise, she never sat comfortably at one place till morning. She kept walking around in her room. Surely, how could she be at peace seeing her husband with someone else? But after the night of Abba's death, she started sleeping peacefully. Time was passing like this. Our business was taken over by a special and old employee of my Abba. We used to get monthly profits due to which our life was going well, and we did not lack anything. My mother used to say a lot that I should take over Abba's business after completing my studies. I had no interest in it because I had seen my father spend his entire life indulging in pleasures, and now I had become like him. I was very spoiled, and would spend the entire night outside the house. My mother would often tell me to come home early. I would make some excuse or the other. I never told her where I spend all my time. I would tell her that I had stayed at a friend's house for studies, and my mother would believe me and keep quiet. Although I did not study at all and would spend all my time loitering with friends. Sometimes I would go to a club with a friend, and sometimes I would just go out on the streets to wander around. I had become very spoiled. There was no such bad habit that I did not have. Friendship with girls, spending time with them, all this had become a part of my life. I never felt bad about these things. My conscience never blamed me that I was doing something wrong because I had seen all this happening in my own house. In such a situation, children learn from their parents. When my father did not respect any woman, I was also the son of the same person. How could I respect any woman, whereas my mother had always taught me to respect her? But when I thought about my father and thought that he had done as he pleased all his life, then I should also do the same. There was not dearth of money, and wealth plays the most important role in spoiling a person. It was the same here, too. Alma was fed up of me coming home late every day, and now she decided that she would get me married, but I had to get married. I had no interest in marriage. I too could not be with one woman like my father. That is why I clearly refused to tell my mother that she does not need to look for a girl for me. Whenever I have to get married, I will tell her. I had friendship with many girls in the university, and after that I had nothing to do with them, although they never tired of pleading for their love. I knew that all those girls were with me because of my beauty and money. Otherwise, no one really loved me. I felt as if a woman was ready to do anything for money. Just as women were ready to spend time with my father for money, similarly, only money is important in their life, and they do not love anyone. That is why I too did not love any girl, and neither did I love anyone. Perhaps I was never going to love anyone in my life, and this was the biggest reason why I did not respect women and thought that they are ready to sell themselves for money. Life was going on like this, and I started coming back home late every night and would tell my mother that I am busy with my studies. My mother used to be alone at home, so, due to loneliness, she kept a girl as a maid. That girl was a maid in my eyes, but my mother did not consider her a maid. She did not clean the house. She only did the household chores for my mother and took care of her. But for me, she was nothing more than a maid. That is why I used to call her by this name. I was not present in the house much during the day as well. That is why I did not meet that girl much. But I heard the other aunt who came to the house for work saying that the new girl my mother has kept with her is very beautiful. And one day, when I came back home early, I saw her very beautiful. I saw a little glimpse of that girl. She was really very beautiful. I could not see her face completely because as soon as she heard my voice, she immediately covered her face. From her hands and eyes, I could guess how beautiful she was, and she immediately left from there. That girl looked beautiful to me, and that is why I was eyeing her. In the university also, All the beautiful girls used to roam around me, but I was not interested in them because I had spent time with all of them. And this girl seemed different from all those girls because she hid her face as soon as she saw me, and I did not like this thing about her at all. Girls used to run behind me and were dying to talk to me, and this girl hid her face from me. But anyway, Alma was present at that time, so I remained silent and went to my room. I tried as much as I could to remove that girl from my mind, but she was coming in front of me again and again, and now I started feeling as if she had insulted me by hiding herself in front of me. One day I made an excuse in this way. I told Alma that I will not return home tonight. So she should let the new girl Mulajma, who she had hired, sleep with her because I had another maid in the house. She used to go back home after finishing her work. That is why I told this to Alma. Alma also did not object to this and kept that girl with her for the night because Alma was not feeling well at that time. That is why she kept that girl here. Alma locked the house and went to her room to sleep while I had another maid in the house. The key was always present. Whenever I came home late at night, I used to open the lock with it and go home. I had just made an excuse. I lied to my mother that I would not return home today. However, I opened the door with the other key and came inside so that I could see the beauty of that beautiful girl. And somewhere in my heart, this thought was also present. She had hidden her face as soon as she saw me. So, why did I not go to her room? Then where would she go to hide from me? In a way, considering it her mistake, I wanted to punish her for this so that I could prove to her that she cannot hide from me no matter what she does. She had hidden her face from me. I had to punish her for that. But as soon as I went to that girl's room, the ground slipped from under my feet and I immediately fell down in prostration because that girl was going to offer namaz right in front of me. I was busy, and when I saw her face while praying, I was shocked, and at that very moment I started bowing down to the ground, and finally I fell down in prostration and started crying. What was I thinking when I came here but seeing the scene ahead, I forgot everything that why I had come here. I only remembered that the same face was present in front of me which I had been searching for so long. This was the biggest reason for my restlessness. How much my eyes longed to see this face, and today she was present in front of me. How my fate had brought her in front of me, and this was the thing that surprised me. I was not able to believe that till now, and the thing that I felt the most intensely at that time was what the old man had told me, that if our devotion is true and our desire is true, then if it is true, then our Allah brings that thing to us through some means or the other. But if we trust Him and surrender our choice to Him, then He definitely brings our desires to us. As soon as I remembered those words, I fell into prostration. This is a 2-year-old incident when I was studying in the university. There, many girls with beautiful faces used to come in front of me, but I was not interested in any of them. At that time, a new girl came to the university who always hid herself in a big sheet. The girl was very beautiful, and I saw only her eyes. Well, I wanted to see her, and I don't know why, I used to go crazy. Just like other girls used to be ready to befriend me and spend time with me on my asking, similarly, I wanted that girl to also befriend me and talk to me, but that girl knew how to stay within her limits. She had never talked to any boy. While I was trying to get that girl by any means, I wanted that girl who lived in a hostel. That is why one night my friend called me to the hostel. He told me that he will tell me the room of that girl. I can go there and meet her and also see her perfect face. I also went with him without thinking because this was not a new experience for me. Before this also, I used to go to girls' hostels sometimes to meet one girl and sometimes to meet another girl. That night, I went with my friend. He asked his girlfriend and told me the room of that girl. I secretly entered her room. She was lost in studies. She got upset seeing me in her room like this. At that time, I saw the face of that girl, which seemed different to me. She was very beautiful. When she asked me to get out of there, I got angry after hearing this. Girls were crazy about me, and they were calling me a vagabond, and God knows what else. I tried to force myself on her in anger. Firstly, I liked her beauty, and secondly, she behaved rudely with me. I had come here only to see her. I had no bad intentions, but her words forced me to do this. Before I could do anything wrong, the girl jumped from the window of the room, but before that she had said something to me which never allowed me to live peacefully. She did not accept my offer like other girls. I offered her money and even promised to marry her, but she told me that she cannot spoil her life for this temporary world. She was ready to die, but she can never do something which is a sin. She did not even want to marry a person like me who is so far away from religion, and so it is a crime. She could have married some black man, some poor man, some laborer, but never me. She preferred death over me. I should understand from this that what I am, who knows what I thought of myself. This statement of hers shook me. It means that the girl did not accept my company. Rather, she accepted death, and she had no regrets about this. She jumped from that window saying that if her life is written, then she will come back from the jaws of death, because life and death are in the hands of Allah, and if she has to die like this, then she has no regrets. I tried a lot to stop her, but before I could reach there, that girl had already jumped from that window. I immediately got out of that room and ran back to my house. Whereas the next day, when I reached the university, there was no one there. There was no news that a girl had committed suicide by jumping from the roof. No one knew anything about this. How is it possible? That girl had jumped from that window in front of my eyes. Then how is it possible that she would have fallen down and no one would have known? Someone must have saved her life. If she was alive, someone must have taken her from here, and if she was dead, then also someone must have taken her from here. But no one knew who that person was. This matter ended here. Then I did not mention it to anyone. If I had mentioned it to anyone, then I would have got myself into this trouble. If that girl had died, then I would have had to go to jail. Since that day, the things she said and her face never went away from my eyes even for a moment. That is why I used to spend all my time outside and drink alcohol with girls. I used to spend time convincing my mind and heart that I am beautiful and any girl will marry me. If that was the case, then why did she reject me? Just because I was far from religion? Was this a big flaw of hers? I remembered the same things, that if Allah wants to save a person, then no one can harm him. But how can a person like me who has never known God understand these things? Slowly, that girl was becoming more and more important to me. I started loving her, but I could not find her anywhere. I searched for her a lot. I used to cry all night remembering her and would look for her on the streets, but I could not find her anywhere. One night, I was roaming on the street like this when I met an old man. As soon as he saw me, he said that if I pray to my God once with a true heart and ask him for that thing, then I will be blessed. If I get what I want, my restless heart will be at peace, and I will get the one I want. At first I ignored her words, but then somewhere in my heart I had this thought, and that is why one day I prayed from my heart that I get that girl. I did not expect that my prayer will be accepted so soon, and now as soon as I went to that girl's room to see her and had come to punish her, I was surprised to see that girl right in front of me, and that day I was convinced that if you have true hope from your God and ask for something from him with a true heart, then he definitely gives it. That is why I immediately fell into prostration and started crying. I had found the girl whom I was searching for so many years, while she was surprised to see me. She was alive. How did she survive? And who had helped her? And she was too. It had been years since she saw me, and she said that her life was written, and that is why she is standing in front of me today. I apologized to her for my behavior and folded my hands in front of her and asked her to forgive me. The girl said that she will forgive me on one condition: if I accept the fact that not all girls are the same. If some girls are ready to sell themselves for money, it does not mean that all girls are the same. If there are 20% girls in this world who are ready to do anything for money, then there are 80% girls who do not value anything more than their honor. And today I understood this very well. In fact, I had understood this the very day when she rejected my offer and accepted death by rejecting me. Also, she had told me that instead of apologizing to her, I should apologize to my Allah, whom I had been disobeying till date. All her words were correct, and after that day, I had sincerely repented to my God and apologized for all my past mistakes. That girl had jumped from the window, but she did not fall down. Rather, the girl whose room was below hers fell into her balcony and got hurt on her arm and leg. That very night she left the hostel because she knew that I would not leave her so easily. She started living in some other hostel. Her parents had passed away, and she had come back to the city. She needed money, so she started working in our house. She did not know that this was my house. I had forgotten all the old things. I told her that I had forgotten all the old things. I loved her and wanted to include her in my life. When I talked to Alma about this, she had no objection to this. That girl had also accepted me wholeheartedly because I had given up all my bad habits and had repented with a true heart. So she had also accepted my company. If you liked our story, Please like our channel and subscribe. Also turn on the bell notifications so that we keep bringing you our upcoming interesting stories on time.